AI is evolving fast. Are you ready? Meet AI at Flightbase, your weekly hub to learn, upskill, and stay ahead in AI world. Let's dive into today's session.
Today's session is around a tool that we have built to solve a problem that we have been facing a lot internally. So, like as the use of AI and the coding agents is increasing, we are continuously facing some subscription issues where the subscription gets kind of over, or like I will share much about the problem that we are facing through my terminal. So, like motive of our today's session will be to share the tool with you all guys, and after sharing the tool, I will tell you about how we have reached here to build this tool, and the tech behind it is kind of very fascinating to build more tools. Like it will allow you to have insights of building your own tools. So is my screen visible? Is everyone able to see the problem that is on the screen? So what is the problem is I was in middle of a session that I was working with Claude Code, and suddenly the limit hit, and now I can like kind of not give any command or run commands to summarize uh, the session context so that I can share with another LLM tool, like through which I can work. So let me share like what was the problem that I was solving. So there was a production issue, and we have dash zero as a tool that gathers our logs. So what I wanted is that I shared a link of dash zero, and I have dash zero MCP already installed here. So I was asking Cloud Code to get the logs and create a file of logs for me so that I can tell it to verify the logs with the code and have a dry run and see what the issue was so that it can be fixed later. But in middle of doing all these things, the session limit was hit, and then like I cannot do anything about it now. All the session is lost, and like I have to start from scratch in a new session. So to solve this, I have built an npm package called CTX Saver. So what this uh, tool does is it gives you a summary of what the context was in the current session. So it can be used with Claude Code, Cursor, anti-gravity, everything. Like most of the popular coding agents that we have been using till now. So let me have a dry run of how the things work. So here is a summarize command that is best. Like there are many commands if you read about the documentation here, but for me and our team, the most useful command is the CTX saver summarize. So what this command does is it gives you a session output like this, where we have the current state of the session, what the session was doing, like what Cloud Code or any other coding agent was doing till now. So it has a brief summary about that. Then it lists down the decisions that have been taken during this session. And after that, it has the next steps that need to be taken after the after you have given this prompt to a new LLM. So now the new LLM has full context, like what this session was about, what the decisions were taken during the execution of the sessions, and finally what are the next steps that the LLM has to take. So to set this up, there are like kind of 2 3 steps that we have to go through. You have to set up your API key, you have to set up an API provider, and you have to set up an AI model that you want to use. So currently I am using Open Router as my API provider, and I am using ChatGPT 5.3 model as my AI model. So you can copy these commands, have your values here, and run in a repository that is like where you have faced such kind of issue. So like first of all, you have to run a command called ctx saver init. So what this does is it creates a .ctx saver folder in your repository, and then all the ctx saver related values are saved here. So I am hitting this since I already have my ctx saver initialized here, so it is telling me that it is already there. Then you have to run these commands, and after you have run these API key commands to set up the summarize the LLM for this repo. Now you just simply have to run ctx saver summarize. Let me copy it from here. So now it is asking me about the Claude Code sessions that I have active in my repository. Like we will come how I am getting all these sessions here. So like this is my most recent one that I have been working on, and I have to get the summary for this particular session. So it is sending the command to LLM for summarization, and after it has got, we will get the particular prompt that needs to be conveyed to another LLM. So there are other commands also here. Like if you do not want to kind of have a LLM that gives you a generated prompt, like so you can also have the save and other commands as well, which like gives the history of the git that is already there in the repo. So it will get the last 5-10 commits that you have made. It will get the code changes that were there, and it will give you a summary of what the changes happened. So you can also kind of copy those changes, and like the summary of the changes you can copy and give to another LLM. So we have got the summarize thing here. So let's see what this is telling me. So current state is that the session was interrupted by the limit immediate after starting the agent. And these are the values that it has decoded from the URL that I gave. So all these values are listed here. And what was the command that I gave? So I wanted the transcript of the, I wanted a txt file which had all the logs during the timestamp that I have given, so that I can dry run with the logs and then kind of find out what was the issue. So these are the decisions that have been made. So I kind of interrupted -0 several times to properly fetch the logs and decode the values. And there were kind of agent calling here as well. So like since I told you that I was using MCP tool, which was published by -0, so that we can get the logs and query with the agents, LLM agents. So there were many tool calls, agent calls, and MCP calls that were linked during this session. So all those decisions and the steps that were taken all are listed here. And then coming to the next step, what was the next step? The first verify whether the interrupted agent any partial export artifact. So if there is any partial export, it will continue fetching them, and then it will like kind of give me the final txt file that we have. So now I can copy this command. I will spawn another agent, say let me use cursor for now, and then I can just give this context to the cursor agent, and I will start getting the response that like I will be able to continue the session from where the session was left. So this is the tool that we are using for our day to day. Like if this is very random kind, like I can tell many other developers can also kind of resonate with the problem that we are facing, because this is very common, like to get interrupted in between the session, and the like you are kind of just stuck and you cannot go anywhere else. So this kind of this tool kinds of unlock what the problem we are facing. So let me come to the tech that we are using. If you have heard about the audit logs that the Claude Code have in its Claude folder. So whenever you kind of initiate a Claude Code session or cursor session, they all maintain an audit log, which exactly has like what kind of commands that are there that you gave, and what were the decisions, and what were the tool calls, or say uh, like anything that Claude Code decide and do. So all that are listed as JSON logs in the Claude Code folder. So if we can open it, let me. So these are my current sessions of this repository where the Claude Code was running, and I have all the logs here. Like every session ID that you see here, every folder, like every .json L file that you see here has exact the context of what the session was about, what decisions were taken, what the Claude Code executed, what you told the Claude Code. And this is kind of a gold mine for me to build another agents as well. Like I can use this to build like code review agents or anything that the decisions were taken. And then we have MCP and other tool results here. Uh, so all what CTX Saver does is it takes this file. This file is can be very large if you have a Cloud Code session running for a very long time. So it takes that file, gets the last 500 messages, and then gives to the LLM that we have configured. So what that, and in response we get the structured format that we have seen here. So it's very simple for me to just paste, get this whole prompt and give to another LLM, instead of starting from scratch and explaining about everything from scratch to new agent. So this is all about the tool that we have built till now. So let me open the platform for Q&A. If anyone wants to discuss about what the tool is about, or have any ideas of what can be built with this further.
So, Nikhil, we have a question from Mahesh. So, he has asked, as conversation can go long, can we run this command during the chat in any coding agents? And it can summarize the things and write down the small intermediate decisions and key point instead of a whole chat, as it can have a tool calls, command runs, and other verbose data which is not related to human.
So like this tool, like what Mahesh is saying, you do not need to kind of like run these command again and again, because whatever you do during a session is already recorded in a JSON L file. Now, if you think like this conversation might be very long for the LLM that you have set up with the API call, for it to summarize. So yes, you can run this command again and again. You can like kind of, it will give you summary of the session till now, and then you can combine all those prompts to give to your new LLM. So like we can do one more thing around this tool. Instead of generating LLM summary that we are generating through CTX summarize command, we can directly pass this JSON L file to the new LLM. But I tried this and I was getting problem regarding the context bloat up in the new LLM, because like since it can be, these files can be very very long. So for our new LLM to run and get each and every detail about it is kind of very difficult. So uh, I have uh, I have fine-tuned my system prompt with which I am sending my JSON-L file currently in this tool. So it gives the exact decision points and exact format which is necessary for the new LLM to take up the jobs.
Okay, thanks for answering, Nikhil. The second question is from Anand. What if the tokens are exhausted and you switch to the local model in Claude Code CLI?
Yes, you can definitely switch to another model, but like for our team, we were kind of using different models like Cursor and other things. So this tool is basically focusing around how we can move out of Claude Code and do inter uh, coding tool sharing. Like we can share context within the tools. So like I can also think of a use case of this tool, like if say I am working on some kind of project and now I am a junior software developer and my senior wants to review how, like what was my thinking behind writing this code and so on. So like I can give this prompt to another developer as well. Like if another developer wants to work on what I was doing and continue the development from where I left. So all these things, these are the use cases that can be solved from this tool.
Okay. So Anand has another question. So, but this switch is temporary to only summarize, right?
So Anand, can you explain more about what do you mean by switch is temporary? Like according to me, once you have you have the coding agent in your laptop. Like if I am moving to Cursor, what if the tokens are exhausted and you switch to local model in the Cloud Code CLI, then ask local model to summarize? Yeah, you can do this as well. There is no harm in doing it. You can uh, surely get, like if you kind of spawn a new Cloud Code session, you will have to somehow get what was there in the previous session. So you can definitely get the summary from the summarize command.
Okay, we have another question from Anjali. Could tools like DevContext eventually replace parts of the traditional documentation or commit messages since they capture the reasoning behind code changes?
Yeah, it can surely do that. We can kind of set up some kind of hooks, Cloud Code hooks that uh, that trigger on some interval and then captures the new messages that we have in our JSON-L file. So JSON-L file is kind of gold mine for me, so that I can at any time, even if after 7 days of any session, if I know what the session ID was, like we can rename it as well. So it's my best practice to rename the session that I am in, so that in future I can get what was the session about and everything. So by those things we can surely get the changes that have been made, and we can use it in any form that it is possible. Like it's on the thinking level of a human, how far we can think and how useful tools we can build out of it.